Stephen Kyle Brackey, who are you? A West Virginia football fan? This is a departure from the real you.
Yeah. No, we play Baylor tonight, so.
Okay. Nice. You went with your
just repping.
Throwback hat. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a new hat. It's maybe not a new hat, but it's not a hat I'm used to seeing on you.
Yeah, I pulled a spay and stole this from my father. But it's pretty sweet throwback.
In both cases, you guys could tell that you stole things from your father.
Yeah, but this is a cool throwback. I'm not sure spays are cool.
Which I think they're so not cool. I think they actually are cool.
That's fair, actually.
To my left, he robbed. I don't know who he robbed for his sweatshirt. That's sort of a checkerboard.
This I have had for, I don't know, at least probably 8 years.
Okay. I didn't know if it was going to go back to this Smoothie King mono situation.
It might be around that time, yeah. I've had this for a while.
That's Daniel Roy Lobdell Jr. He's the pride of Calvert Hall in Baltimore County. And we are ready for the season, which starts tomorrow. Can you believe we've already begun traveling? Not us.
We have not, obviously.
We have not. But we as a collective, FloWrestling, Mike Mao and a guy named Ryan Smith that you don't know, are in San Diego for the AFC duels.
AFC Championship.
Not to be confused with the AFC Championship game. If we got the AFC Championship game on FloWrestling, that'd be a good day for me.
I'd rather see Wisconsin and Fresno.
Yes, if they were in the AFC, we would have it. So we'll have those duels. What is the exact triumvirate there, Bracky? Like, who is wrestling who? Is everyone wrestling everybody?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'm glad you asked because so at noon Eastern, Wisconsin versus Fresno State. 2 p.m. Navy versus Fresno State. And also at 2 p.m. Army versus Wisconsin. So we'll have a couple mats going there.
Wait, at noon Eastern, it's is when Wisconsin wrestles
Fresno State.
That's 9 o'clock in San Diego.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is an early.
They're waiting at 8.
Do they have a night mission with the Navy?
What's that? Waiting at 8.
Well, they do have.
What if they had 2-hour weigh-ins? Oh boy.
Well, I do just want to
Please clarify.
What appears to be a little bit of confusion. So, AFC duels at Broadway Pier are different from Battle on the Midway. Battle on the Midway is later that night. And we don't have that.
We don't have it. You can't watch it on Flow. Who's wrestling in that one?
So that's Fresno State Army, and then I think Navy wrestles somebody. Maybe Navy wrestles Fresno State, I think.
Okay.
You delivered that very sternly.
No, it's kind of confusing, and I get it. It's like tape delayed on like CBS Sports Network.
You're not gonna not have a tape delayed wrestling duel,
right?
If given the chance. No one wants to watch things while they're happening. Let's read about it. Let's let the mystery of what happened just permeate. And
then you can probably not use the term tape delay anymore.
No,
unless the game is taped.
This could be actually taped.
Okay.
We don't know their methods.
That's fair.
We have to assume they're taped until they produce the digital copies.
So they're gonna go 8 a.m. and then
9 a.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah, no, I mean, 9 a.m. and then 6:30.
Yeah.
For Wisconsin Army.
Opening day.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great for us. That means we got our work cut out for us tomorrow. Exciting times.
Is it? Dare I say it?
I know what you're gonna say.
Is this our Iowa City duels this year?
Can we call these the AFC Iowa City duels in San Diego? I think we don't have to necessarily change it on the event page, Bracky, but I think we could do something.
Here's why I say this. For those of you at home that don't know, I don't come in on Fridays to the office. I do work from home because I can. So maybe
what a flex.
No, that's not a flex. I just want to let people know why I'm saying this. Maybe I come in tomorrow and watch the AFC Championship duels in Iowa City.
It's America's finest city, dude.
Is that why it's AFC?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not the American Football Conference?
Right.
I've got to stop some printing on some T-shirts.
America's finest city? San Diego? Why aren't they called the Ron Burgundy duels?
We could call it that between you and I. So, all right, what all is happening tomorrow live or not live on FloWrestling.org, what all is happening?
Well, the only other thing live on FloWrestling.org, besides the AFC Duels at Broadway Pier and not the battle on the Midway, is Cal State Bakersfield versus Minnesota at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Where Gable Steveson will not be wrestling, we learned.
That seems to be the case, yes.
Is the case. So,
Do we
don't know. Yeah.
When?
You know why?
I do not know why. I could hypothesize, but I will not.
So pretty much the only thing going on Friday is the AFC Duels battle on the Midway, and then the Presbyterian opens their season against Chattanooga. SIUE versus Chattanooga. Cleveland State's got a couple of duels with some local teams. John Carroll, Case Western, and that's it.
With the Presbyterian, LIU, those are only two, and Arkansas Little Rock, can they all, compete? Can they, go
You
to
say,
NCAAs?
postseason?
Yeah.
Little Rock can. Long Island can.
Yeah, Long Island can.
And Cal Baptist can't. They're still in their transition. And then
How?
Augustana's not D1 yet, right, Bracky? We just looked at this the other day.
Correct, they're not.
And then what was the other one?
Oh,
Presbyterian. Mm-hmm. Yes, Presbyterian should be able to do SoCon postseason NCAA.
So I think the difference there, right, is that the programs that are eligible right now, Little Rock and Presbyterian, and those guys are D1 institutions that started a new program, whereas the others were D2 programs that rose to D1 status,
yeah.
right?
Transitioning.
Yeah, they're moving their whole athletic department up.
University. Yeah.
okay. And so they hold you. So Cal Baptist is still waiting. They have had to wait for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. It's going to be interesting. It's been a while since we've had, or it seems like it's been a while since we have new teams into the fold, right?
Well, that's why when I did that article this summer, I believe the headline was something like, we're going to have 80 D1 programs within the next few years if everything holds, which, all right, hey, let's get back to 100, huh? Because, like CP was saying, they've been chipping away in the negative direction. So,
Yeah, for a long time.
I'm pumped. Little Rock's probably the one I've been following
Yeah.
closely just because I'm sure we all get updates from Neil the most. But hopefully we get to, speak to Long Island coaches and Presbyterian coaches and figure out what's going on with them this year.
We're going to get to Little Rock at some point this season, one way or the other. Check out what's going on there.
Also, obviously I imagine Minnesota's going to beat CSUB, but I'm just excited to see their season. I feel like they've done a really good job of kind of upping their social media and marketing game over the past couple months and just kind of trying to bring money and excitement into the program. So, again, I don't know how they're going to do necessarily tomorrow, but good job on CSUB getting your fans into it.
Yep, exciting times. Anything else? We can move on from opening day. So our opening day move is to get here, have a nice breakfast, and then get ready for the AFC duels.
Couple updates real quick.
Okay.
Cody Cleveland, shout out Citadel, is listening in and said that Presbyterian backed out of the duel against Chattanooga, but is bringing 8 guys to Citadel's tournament this weekend.
Okay.
And he said that Cal Baptist is 80-90% going to join the SoCon.
Okay.
So
So we're going to have Arkansas Little Rock in the Pac-12.
uh-huh.
Cal Bakersfield in the SoCon.
Cal Baptist.
Cal Baptist.
Cal Baptist, sorry, excuse me.
How about
I'm getting my cows mixed up here.
probably for ease of,
Travel.
to be light on travel budget.
I mean, you can't make these things up.
Maybe we go away from cardinal direction names for conferences.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems to make sense. Okay. So some media day stuff. Yesterday was Iowa's media. I feel like Iowa's media day always has the most stuff. We've got Fat Cats was a year ago. I can't even remember all of them. But remember he was
Fat
called
cat.
Cash Wilkie.
Cats?
He called Cash
yeah,
Wilkie.
yeah.
He was hungry like the wolf. Now he wasn't a fat cat.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like actual. Yeah, I remember now.
No, there was an actual cat there. I think it scratched Max Murin. That was this year.
Yeah, it looked like it bit Max Murin.
Yeah, you just don't pick up cats, Max. You should know that. I know you're a wild card, but a wild cat can be a
They were
dangerous thing.
throwing pumpkins, huh? They had it at a farm.
Well, they were feeding the livestock, I believe.
Yeah, but they did throw pumpkins at them.
Not at them. They threw them. It wasn't like they were hitting them in the rib cage. I think they were throwing it on the other side of the fence. don't get PETA on the Hawkeyes case here, Brad.
I'm not.
Dude, you know how mad they would be if PETA found out that wrestlers would hit a steer in the ribs with a pumpkin. They would be up in arms.
Yeah, it was very friendly. It was a friendly Smashing Pumpkins concert. And
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I did not know that steers ate pumpkins.
I guess they're
I
not,
didn't either.
know that.
not too discriminate.
I didn't know that anything really ate pumpkins.
There are no natural predators for pumpkins.
No natural predators. They're an apex vegetable.
I mean, what do you make out of pumpkins other than pie?
I don't know. The
there
seeds
anything
are
else?
quite popular. So, the press are opening with Coach Brands and a lot of Spencer Lee discussion, but the heat of it was talking 133, talking DeSanto, saying Teasdale's doing well. Brands says that Teasdale's going to go November 17th, which begs a question to me. Well, one, I assume all of his issues or whatever, he's going to be able to wrestle right away. I'm assuming that's what that means. But what I'm most curious about is we're going to see him November 17th, which is great. But at what weight? Because Tom Brands is talking about DeSanto needs to get better at bottom because Seth Gross is back this year. That's a 133-pound matchup. But we're going to see him November 17th. And there's also wrestle-offs coming. So how does he know he's going to start November 17th? My thought, as I've been trying to think about this, if we see Gavin November 17th against UTC, which is when they have the duel, is it something where, almost like a Gomez situation, does DeSanto's descent plan not allow for him to go 33 yet?
Oh yeah, like an early season.
Literal baseless speculation, but I don't understand why, because it doesn't sound like to me it's established that DeSanto's going up. Why would Tom Brands talk about he's got to get better on bottom for Seth Gross if he was going 141? That doesn't make any sense.
So, yeah, like, first off, I think kudos to Tom Brandt saying that Gavin's going to go on that date, right? I mean, so often we always sort of make fun of it even, that college coaches, wrestling coaches are so secretive about things and don't put stuff out there. We're going to see Gavin on the 17th. That's awesome. Good job by Tom Brands for not, like, playing games and have us all wondering. But so some questions answered, like the question about his eligibility, I guess. If he's wrestling, he's eligible. Some questions answered, some questions not so much. I guess it's still like a work in progress of how the lineup is going to shake out, right? If he's saying DeSanto and Gross, and then Gavin is going to be on the mat on the 17th, and he also made the comment. We're putting our best team out there, whoever that may be, right?
Right.
Okay. In what permutation? Does that mean Gavin at 33, Gavin at 41, Murin in, Murin out, DeSanto 33 and 41? I mean, still don't really know, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. And Coach Brandt sort of alluded to compliance stuff with Gavin, that they're working on it with him. So, but if he's good to go November 17th, he's good to go. Unless he's referring to some open that they would send Gavin to, which I don't think is what he meant. But yeah, so I don't know what their starting lineup's going to be. I don't see DeSanto as the seed the position kind of guy.
Oh, like
Just
you
knowing
can just
what I know
you can
about
just have
offense.
it, yeah.
He's gonna probably, if he wants to go 33, I would imagine he would say, "Well, you're gonna have to remove this forcibly from me."
Mm-hmm.
Unless they just say,
What
"Hey,
was
Austin go up.
What was Murin last year?
Like ranked?
NCAAs.
2-2?
2-2.
Ish. That's just. I'm just saying that.
It got me thinking. I mean, obviously there's 3 spots for 2 guys, and it kind of got me thinking. And I have no answers off the top of my head, but some of the better guys that were on the bench recently. You know, you had
Well, Kassar.
you had
Probably the
Kassar, national champ, was a backup for a little bit, and he was probably the best. You had I'm just shooting from the hip here, but you had the Boo and Caden situation, and Cade Brock down there.
Well, Gilman's probably the best.
Yeah,
I mean, he won Midlands.
Gilman.
He beat Delgado.
Corey was 125.
He beat Delgado and Gerard Garnett at Midlands, national champion, and then Gerard Garnett, and then he did not start that year. He did not go to NCAAs that year.
Mm-hmm. Any else? Nomad off the top of your head? Kyle Bradkey?
Wait, did he beat Delgado?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Really, obviously really close.
No, but I was kind of thinking the same thing, Willie, just having to – I mean, it's what happens when you go to these top programs, right? You kind of got to figure it out and earn your spot a lot of the times. And, you know, we've kind of speculated, could Murin go up and be their 49 next year with Lugo graduating this year, as well as – I mean, they're all their best options at 49 right now. Lugo, Turk, and Glosser are all like their starter and their depth are all seniors, so probably going to need to end up moving somebody up.
Yeah, Murin was 2-2.
He made the quarters and then lost 2 in a row. Yeah,
to Red,
which
he lost to Red he lost to Nick Lee and Chad Red.
Mm-hmm.
So
but yeah, preseason number 9, like
yeah,
end up being on the bench.
Yeah, and then you got a guy like Turk. You know, he's gonna be potentially a third stringer. Think how good he is.
Yeah,
right. He's an NCAA qualifier. He's got 1 match at nationals. I mean, he's gonna be almost certainly on the outside looking in, barring amazing improvement or something. Just the team's that good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, further thoughts on Media Day? Spencer Lee going to have kind of a mixed schedule, it sounds like.
Yeah, that was the one I wanted to touch on because, kind of after this week wraps up, Spay and I have been working on our NCAA previews, and then the season starts. We are also going to have to, while we're focusing on these early season opens and these early season duels, we're also turning our attention towards the very rapidly approaching Bill Farrell and all of the things that come with that as the first qualifier for the Olympic trials. And just, look, there's a lot of guys taking Olympic red shirts. There are a lot of guys who we have heard are going to be on abbreviated seasons or whatever you want to call it because they're going to have to go and qualify. And, I'm a little curious about guys who are healthy, why they wouldn't go to the Bill Farrell and potentially lose an opportunity to qualify. I know you have to win the Bill Farrell as opposed to just getting top 5 at the Open, but what Spencer intimated in his interview yesterday is more likely, it sounds like, probably not the Farrell, definitely the modified U.S. Open Senior Nationals in December.
Well, I think one, you have to pick your spots. I don't think there's a scenario where a college wrestler that is trying to make the Olympic. I think to go Farrell and the qualifier back-to-back months, I think is a lot more disruptive. Mm-hmm. And you're throwing if you go to Farrell, you're just throwing all your chips and you have to win the thing. Whereas it's like, I mean, if I'm Spencer Lee, I'm going to be top 5 at this thing. Not that he probably wouldn't win the Farrell, but perhaps that December time slot works best for his periodization. Also, it's not the only window, too, right? If Spencer wins NCAAs, he's in. If worst case scenario somehow through something he weren't to do that and he didn't win NCAAs and he didn't qualify at Dallas, he could still go to the last chance and do that. So there's just a lot of ways to. They're all hard. Every road goes through good wrestlers at this point because everything's condensed down to fewer weights. But I just think he's going to go to Dallas and do great, and that'll be that. And I think they've determined that's probably the best one for him to do. I
also I guess part of that, just thinking, you don't no Schultz this year, so you lose out on that opportunity. And then, putting your eggs in the NCAA basket, which he sounds like he's not. Obviously, he's going to go do the freestyle. But if that doesn't work out, then those guys, qualifying as NCAA champions, he's done it twice, so he should be favored again to do it. Just, I don't know. I'm curious to see, but I was happy to see him be like, yeah, look, I don't want to. Basically said, like, I don't want to say I'm going to the Farrell and then, it kind of doesn't work out because, as you were saying, like, periodization and kind of with the training plan and what we're trying to do with folk style, but
I don't think the Coach Brands and Spencer look at the thing and say, all right, we need multiple opportunities to get Spencer because if we don't get it at Farrell, we need to be ready. They're just like, all right, we'll go and we'll qualify it here and we'll cross the bridge of not qualifying it. They're not thinking – it's not – and I can't say a wrestler's name here, but a fringe Olympic trials qualifier should go to Farrell and then the Open and then –
especially if they're –
yeah.
Especially if they're a senior. If they're graduated or they're on Olympic redshirt. But when you're in the college season, get a couple of freestyle matches in December, check that box, okay, I'm qualified. Then laser focus on the NCAA season until
what is Gilman's qualification status?
He's in.
He's in.
I'm actually gonna today probably do
through what? Because he made the finals?
No, so all the guys who were on our world team for the last 3 years, so 2017 world team, 2018 world team, 2019 world team, are all qualified. So like Gilman's qualified, Zane's qualified, Jaden's qualified. And then also Nashon having won the spot but not being able to compete, they said, well, you should get credit for that because it wasn't your fault. You didn't compete at Worlds. So all those guys are qualified. So Gilman's in and Fix is in at 57, and then tentatively with whichever way the 61 kilo guys go.
So potentially Gilman, Fix, Nashon, Cologne, Graf. All are qualified, which for those guys, for the 61 dudes, you got to figure they're like, man, that's one less weigh-in they have to worry about for 57.
Yeah.
But do you think we see any of the already qualified guys enter one of the things?
Well, remember when Kyle Snyder moved over to the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club? I believe in his interview he did with USA Wrestling, they did with Taylor Miller, he said he was planning on competing at the Farrell.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Which then obviously changes from having to win the Farrell to its highest placing guy who's not already qualified. So if Kyle wins, which I think we all expect him to, then it would be the finalist that qualifies it for 97. So, yeah, we could. I mean, so think about it this way. Remember when Coleman was on his descent, right? And he's like, I want to make it 3 times and compete, right, and make sure my body. So, yeah, I'm sure you could see, maybe a Nashon or somebody who's coming down be like, I'm already qualified. I can go to the Farrell and lose, and it's fine. And this is more so for my body than actually to go and win the tournament.
Yeah.
I would want to. I mean, we talk about it all the time. If I was full-time freestyle, I'd want to wrestle not as much as possible, but I'd want to wrestle often. I don't know. Some guys don't wrestle as much as I don't know. I think they should, or I think that you would want to. But Nomad, also clarification at Farrell, like let's say like Kyle takes first and an international guy takes second and an American takes third. It would be the third place American would also qualify, right? It would be the next highest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the highest placing American who's not already qualified. So you have to finish top 3. So, if there was – like Kyvan's not qualified, right? So if we see Kyvan at the Farrell and he gets third behind Snyder and international opponent, then, Kyvan would qualify out of the third place spot.
Cool. Yep. So we began that tangent talking about Spencer Lee and his season. So Spencer, kind of bringing it back there, modified schedule, it sounds like. That's what we've been hypothesizing for the longest anyways. And what'd you think about, I like this actually, Coach Brand's comments about, when you take an Olympic red shirt and like what it means and like he's like, call it what it is, but this is getting used as a loophole by other teams just to get guys other years and kind of align your teams. I thought that was interesting. Not that the candor's ever surprising with Coach France, but it was an interesting little nugget he threw in there.
I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys, and I should know this, but I don't know how some of these guys got the Olympic possibility. But it's used as a loophole, and I mean, there's guys that aren't even going to qualify for the trials that are taking Olympic years. And I mean, I think it's fine, but it also puts very much additional stress on the university, because with this decision, those decisions aren't really made far ahead of time. I mean, when kids were recruited in 2017, 2018, a lot of times the plan to take an Olympic red shirt in 2019, 2020 was not made. So these guys are doing their budgets. There's head coaches and assistant coaches at D1 schools that are doing their budgets, and this guy is on 40% scholarship, and this guy is on 60, and then one of the guys takes an Olympic year, and then you're like, you have to redo your whole budget. So it also puts additional stress on that way, and sometimes those guys aren't exactly threats to make an Olympic team. You know what I mean?
No, but I think it's an overall benefit to the teams. I think when you see it, I think for the most part, it's helping the teams. I think with Oklahoma State, it hurts their team that Dayton's taken an Olympic red shirt.
Sure.
But with others, you can see how it's aligning things for a really tough team moving forward. So I don't. Hey man, the criteria. Well, the criteria are sort of known. Some people didn't meet the criteria. Well, Nick Soriano, I don't understand that.
There was a punctuation thing. That's what happened there.
I don't know. I don't understand. Yeah. No, I read it clearly. It didn't.
I know. What was published on USA Wrestling is not what, because USA Wrestling had letters sent to Rutgers. This is what it actually says. Rutgers has multiple pieces of documentation from USA Wrestling and NCAA that Nick's Olympic red shirt is 100%.
No, I know that. I'm just saying I don't understand.
It's because what you read, they typed it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally typed the criteria wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I was confused by that too.
Because I was wondering, can USA just say, dude, this guy's so good, we would love for him to take an Olympic year, and just like that's. I mean, if I was USA Wrestling and that was within my purview, and I could say, wow, you're telling me Nick Soriano wants to take an entire year just to train freestyle and maybe would make our team? Yeah. What? Just write that. Just do it.
Yeah, I do love this conversation, and I believe we've had it before on this show, because we've run this article a few times where I've kind of been tracking the Olympic red shirts as, okay, we get 3-4 more and we kind of run it out again, and just having these conversations with these different college coaches about their beliefs about Olympic red shirts. Spencer has said before publicly, and Tom Brands, I've heard him say this before to me, I've heard him say it publicly now, that there's only a few instances where they want to take Olympic red shirts, and some coaches are just I don't want guys taking Olympic red shirts. I think going through the college season will help them. Yeah. Whereas other coaches are, hey, we recruited these guys knowing that they had freestyle aspirations, and if this is what they want to do, we're gonna support them, and we believe this will help our guys, our RTC guys, or just our RTC in general. It will help us attract more guys who have freestyle aspirations, because as we continue down this road, and it's been going for 10 years now, college is not the stopping point, right? They have dreams beyond colleges, and so every coach has different takes on Olympic red shirts, and I hope more coaches speak out publicly about their feelings about it, and their points of view, because they're all interesting, they're all valid, and it'll help kids who are interested in senior level better make their decisions when they're talking to these coaches and what programs they're interested in.
And more than anything, I mean, I've been bringing this up for years, and I know it pisses you guys off. You don't like it. But the fact is, many world team members have their best years and make their best runs immediately after college. And it's just true for a lot of the guys. It's true for Kyle Snyder. It's true for Thomas Gilman. True to an extent for James Green. We've seen a lot of guys make the teams, and not only just make the teams, but have their best international results right after the college season. Call that what you want. But there's a preponderance of evidence that doing the Division I folk style season helps you more than strictly freestyle training.
Well, I think that's just an individual thing, right? Like that's where I've landed on that, because
What do you mean an individual thing?
David Taylor is much better now than he was right out of college. Kyle Dake is much better now than he was right out of college, right?
Is he?
Jaden Cox
Kyle Dake beat Dennis Sargouche like right out the gate.
Right, that's what it's an individual thing.
He got hurt a lot.
Jaden Cox made the team in college. Jaden Cox is going to continue to make teams well after college. Like it's a wholly individual thing based on whenever that guy is within their peak, whatever the competition that they have within their thing. And yes, to some guys it does benefit them, but to other guys,
Of course it's
Isaiah
individual.
Martinez has said multiple times that this, being out of school helped him a ton and helped him get this close to Burroughs. So yes, there is validity to it, but there's also validity on the other end that it's really just a personal thing and how these guys approach their training and where their bodies are and what their needs are and who else is in the field of guys they have to beat. So it's really just whatever's best for you.
Yeah, and for many of them, it seems to be the best thing is to do a Division I season and then jump into it. We could get into that further, but no, I think it'll be good for Spencer. I think that's why they're making the decision, and it makes me, there was a question, we'll get to it later, but someone kind of taking a shot at Iowa for saying they don't put their individual athletes first because they're not having Spencer take an Olympic redshirt. But we can talk about that later, I guess.
Well,
because it's clearly not what's happening there.
We'll get into that too, but you could make the same thing for Penn State.
I mean,
their guys
not
Olympic
putting
red
their-
shirts, but they're
That's
we can get
stupid.
into that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is they're correlating giving an Olympic red shirt with guaranteed or optimized freestyle success when the data is not there for that.
Right. Number
Or
one, you
what the
said
kids want.
plenty of guys have. Well, first things first. If Spencer Lee wanted to take an Olympic red shirt, you think Spencer Lee's not taking an Olympic red shirt?
Exactly.
I mean, don't talk.
Yeah.
Don't say Iowa and Tom Brands aren't putting their freaking wrestlers
Mm-hmm.
first, because if Spencer wanted it, you act like Tom Brands sat Spencer Lee down and said, "You are not taking Olympic." How do you know that happened? You don't know that. Number one. Number two, plenty of guys have wrestled the division. Christian just said it, right? You can wrestle the freaking college season and have great success internationally. However, I will say this year is tougher than ever because the trials
So
are 2 weeks
close.
after NCAA.
So close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Spencer himself said, he's like, I don't really believe in Olympic red shirts. I believe that what is best for me is to go through the college season, compete, practice with college guys. So again, it's what the individual athlete feels is best for them.
Also, he committed to the University of Iowa. And I think strongly the team component, how good they are this year, I think that's driving Spencer's decision too. He's gonna they're gonna be in the mix for a title. And can you imagine? I mean, we talked about it months ago when it was like, whoa, he could take an Olympic red shirt if he wanted to, or his regular red shirt if so. And you imagine it, they're going to be in the mix to win this title, and then if they don't have his 25 points, can you imagine? And I think 100% that's behind the decision too. He wants to be there for his team and help his team get back on top.
Spencer's a team guy and a pride guy, right?
Yeah.
Spencer Lee grew up, a lot of these guys, right? Spencer Lee grew up for Young Guns and wrestling for all these amazing teams at VAC duels and HSCA duels and then these amazing Franklin regional teams that ran through PA. And yeah, of course, that guy wanted to be part of a winning program and wanted to be part of the reason that Iowa, could win a team title. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that go into it, and that's part of it too. So you cannot take an Olympic red shirt, and the coaches can still have your best interest in mine.
Yeah, those are not mutually exclusive decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any further Iowa Wrestling Media Day talk?
Just for me, quite a grind for the Iowa media, having to do Northern Iowa Media Day, Iowa State Media Day, Iowa Media Day, all in a row.
Wow.
All with interesting things, right? Doug Schwab talking about the redshirt freshman coming in competing. We found out Steyert's going up 74. I was unaware of. I knew Lujan was going up. I wasn't aware Steyert was going up to 74.
That's interesting.
The stuff with Austin Gomez, where could he miss the first? Right, we talked about that yesterday. Could he miss the first few parts of the season because he's on a descent plan down to 133?
He lost to Parker in the wrestle-off 4-0.
Right. So a lot of stuff happened within the state of Iowa the last few days.
Iowa doing their media day outside when the real field was 27 degrees.
Love it. I love it. Dude, it looked awesome with them talking with corn in the background. I thought that was sick.
Yep.
We need to, if they go somewhere, we need to go to these media days also. We should have done that.
I'd love it.
I think we say this every year.
Yep.
Bracky, set a Google Calendar reminder for sometime
Yeah.
in September.
On
And then we'll book the travel, and then we'll send someone, and we'll go. And hopefully, it'd be great if all the media days in Iowa align, and we could do Iowa, UNI.
Well, I'll
and
tell you
Iowa
what.
State.
If there's gonna be a media day with livestock again,
Yeah.
count me in.
if there's crops,
Hand
livestock,
up for Willie.
wild feral barn cats, and Max Murin, I'm not missing it. Okay, so
Max Murin has a pet snake.
yeah, it was Sammy Brooks's. Remember?
That he walks.
He takes
with a
on
leash.
walks.
Wow.
Come on.
Which really that got
it's-
Spay going.
I think it's a crawl.
Yeah.
True.
Snakes can't walk.
But Spay was like, "You can't have a leash. It's a
They-
tube with."
They used to be able to
How
walk
do you think
in the
that-
Garden of Eden
do you think-
situation.
You think that Max says to his roommate? Maybe his roommate's like, I don't know. What do you think his roommate is? Just say somebody.
Warner, somebody like that.
Paul Glenn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul. South
You
Paul.
think Warner says to Paul Glenn? He's like, Paul, be right back, taking my snake for a crawl. And they're like, yeah. Glenn's like, yep. All right, see you, Max.
See you in 20 minutes.
Wonder what kind of tricks it does.
I bet it's a pain to get out to take for a crawl in the winter.
Oh my gosh.
Snakes are not big fans of the cold.
He takes the snake out. They are cold-blooded. Oh, I don't know. Now Pete is going to get involved for inhumane
We're getting urine
treatment
investigated.
of a snake. They're throwing pumpkins at livestock. Just all out of context, and then Pete is going to be in an uproar.
Peter doesn't listen to this show.
They don't listen. They don't even know what wrestling is.
No way.
No way. Okay. Also in Media Day news, not Iowa Hawkeye Media Day. This is kind of old news, but it's new to me because I didn't listen to the entire John Smith thing. Kate Brock may be back second semester. Did not know that. Did everyone else know that? Am I the last to know?
Yes.
I'm the last to know. You said
I
you found
talked
out in a tweet. So you didn't hear it either.
I did not know that. I talked to Chris Perry one time, and he was like, "We're not sure." I was like, "Is Cade done for the year for sure?" And he's like, We don't know that yet. We're not sure yet." But I thought that for sure he was done. So I don't know.
Interesting. So that would be if he comes back at 33, and they go pitch KG, Boo. That's a good first four there.
What is Boo now? What grade?
He's this is his theoretically his final season.
He's a fifth-year sophomore.
Does he have a chance for a medical any of those years?
Based on all of the injuries that John Smith has listed on numerous occasions, it sounds like he should.
He's like
Sounds
the
like he
big
should.
Ben Roethlisberger of wrestling.
Yeah.
We need to
It
get
seems
that
like he
little
should,
chart
though.
of 'cause Big Ben's like ankles and feet and shoulders and elbows and probably sternum injuries, concussions. I'm sure. Ben Roethlisberger has been concussed multiple times. I'm sure of it.
When I was doing the 149 preview, I wrote in, I didn't pick him to place. I was like, look, Bill Lawton is obviously amazing. He has beaten a ton of the guys that I picked to place. I don't know if he can be healthy for a full season.
Well, did
I
you
hope
see,
this man is healthy. And also, at the end of his career, I would like to sit down with him and be like, all right, go through every single injury you've had. Because between the injuries and just the guys he's had, like, around his weight and the guys he's had to beat, that guy has had such an interesting career.
On Halloween, the official day of Boo, you're going to go and say he's not going to place.
Well, I said
of all days.
I said it a couple days ago.
Well, you said it again.
I
you
did say
made
it
sure
again.
to make a point to say it on Halloween.
Yeah, you said
when
it on
Boo
Halloween.
is most important.
Absolutely disgusting.
It is vile. It is vile, sir. How
You
dare
know
you?
what?
Me, I'm a
Boo will-
believer, personally.
Hopefully Boo will wrestle.
Dayton is Dayton is usually Dayton's not like a rah-rah guy, like he's not very
Yeah,
open
I
and
saw that.
out there on social media. But yesterday he tweeted, Boo looks great and he's ready to roll and I can't wait to, watch him wrestle and he's gonna carry the boat and I thought that was kind of interesting. It wouldn't be so interesting if it came from Pat Downey, who's always making predictions and
Sure.
and saying stuff. But when it comes from a guy that's usually very reserved, I thought it meant something.
Got it.
I pick ankles 1.
Yes. Okay, so
Boo might just mess everybody up.
yeah, I'm a believer. I put it out there.
You jerk.
Okay. Anything else? We talked about Iowa State wrestle-offs a little bit with Gomez losing to Parker. Anything else of note there? Todd Not Small won his wrestle-off. We're big Todd Small guys. If Todd Small and Joey Silva wrestle each other, I'm going to be a mess. That is going to be a really tough day for me. Anything else on Iowa State?
I don't think so. I don't even know if I know all the results. Well, I mean,
That's good.
anything.
They appear to be pretty...
Chalky.
Ooh,
Yeah.
this is one I missed. Aiden Reeves wrestled a match.
Ooh, how'd he do?
He beat Caleb Foosley 4-2. That's great. I don't think he's going to go this year. I don't know why they would with Mackle
Yeah.
having eligibility and being healthy and him coming off injuries. But we've talked about him on the show before. Just good to see him back wrestling. So excited about that.
Okay. U23 talked Bo Nickel, U23 World Champion. Dominant. Destroyed his guy. It was not
He
close.
looked great.
He looked
He
really,
looked
really
great.
good.
The angles he was creating, the
Acute,
the low level-
obtuse.
mostly obtuse. No, I just mean he was able to. He was shooting from space. He was finding ankles and dragging them in. He looked really good on his feet.
His offense was great, but that guy didn't get close to his legs at any point. I think his
No.
position is a little underrated because I think Bo during his collegiate season against most guys would kind of be a little less disciplined head hands, just like I'll
Yup.
pin this guy a lot quicker if he just grabs my leg. So let's just do that.
Have at it.
Have at it. Just go for it. We'll just start right here. You're in like situation drills. Guy starts in and head inside. Then I cradle him.
Yeah, I like that because he had his first match against a good Iranian, who I believe was a U23 medalist last year. He was having some trouble, and he gave up kind of a silly early takedown, and then changed his offense. Kind of went from that high crotch to the low ankle, right head on the knee. So it was good to see him vary his offense, and as Willie said, create his angles and use that length. The one where he ran down and sucked the ankle back in, I think that's the one that Willie's talking about. That was phenomenal.
That was great, and so was that. It was earlier on in the match. It might have been like 2-0 or 1-0 or something, and he just lefty from like a mile away, but still got in deep. And we're talking about Sokolov here, who's very good.
I mean, he was their
we're not
senior
talking
rep.
Yeah, in 2018.
18.
Yeah.
He's like really good, and we're talking about the guy before. No, man, I think the guy before that Iranian, I'm pretty sure was the U23 champ.
Yeah,
last year.
relative to the field, like Bo wrestled about as tough as a draw in terms of guys that he could have hit. So it makes you feel pretty good that he is.
He's
we
on the
kinda
level.
knew it, right?
you know?
Yeah, that he's.
I
on
think
the
we
level.
knew he was. I mean, I think we knew after because we didn't see him last year
Right.
in freestyle, but we knew he was good, right?
2018, we didn't see him, yeah.
And then 19, he comes out and wins the Open. You're like, okay. And then in trials, he looks amazing. Just steamrolls his way through trials. And then, he gave Jaden Cox as close a match as really anyone has on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we knew he was. I mean, to me, it was in a way a foregone conclusion he was probably going to win this thing. And man, he looked great. He's certainly a factor at, I guess, 86. You would think 86,
especially with Kyle coming in now. You wonder.
I mean, it's like either David Taylor or Kyle Snyder.
Right.
Is what you're choosing there.
I continue to think that he doesn't look huge. Like,
I agree.
I continue to agree with what you think being right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he won U23s, he qualified for Olympic trials.
And I wonder, he's another, because all you can do, I guess, at this point, if you're already qualified, you could theoretically improve your seed at the trials if that's something you're remotely interested in. But I don't think that matters. I think if he wrestles, I think for Bo, it would probably make more sense for him to go and get more international competition, maybe.
Right, go overseas.
Yeah.
So, right, for example, does that mean he now
doesn't go to Dallas?
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm thinking, because we only have 3 spots for the ranking series event. So he's already qualified for the trials. U23 World Champ. He was number 2 on the ladder. Makes the national team. Does that now get him in the boat to go to? Where's the first one? Spain. What's the first ranking series event of next year? Oh, Rome. Rome. Does that get him in the boat to go to Rome for the January ranking series event?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Now, he's how many can we send to those?
3. It's the same rules still. It's 3 guys per weight.
Okay.
So we could have theoretically 18.
Well, I wondered, does this put him on the short list for like Pan Ams?
That's the one. I keep getting, DMs and texts about that. They still haven't put out publicly at least, I haven't seen them, the selection criteria for men's freestyle of who we're going to send to the Pan Am Olympic qualifier. We've got Greco, we've got women, still waiting on men's freestyle.
Yeah. They got to do.
Yeah, and some pivotal decisions there, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to see him at either the Rome event, which is January 15th to 18th, or Eureka, which is January 23rd to 26th.
The Rome,
I think that'd be very
ranking
good for him.
series is in January?
Yes, the first one.
Oh, man. I want to go to that. Oh, yeah, I guess it would have. It doesn't have to be. When's the other one? The other one's Hungary, or the other one's what?
The other one is in June. They're using the Zielkowski, so June 4th to the 7th in Poland.
Zielkowski.
Warsaw.
When in doubt, though, Willie, it is pretty safe to assume it's going to be in Budapest, Hungary. Any
They have
event,
so many things there.
if you are not sure, just book travel to Budapest. The show's coming through at some point.
You'll either be there or you'll be close to a lot of European cities. So
Yeah.
you can just hop
It was
on
like
somewhere
a
else.
couple years ago. The bids came out. Like what cities bid on the events for the next cycle. Budapest bid on every event that on the UWW calendar.
that they could
They
get.
won every world championship.
Well, they're getting their fair share. Any other U23 talk?
Kirk Fleet.
Oh, boy.
Kirk Fleet took bronze. I didn't watch the match he lost on the front side. I did not see, but I heard that he was in position to win and it didn't win. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I don't know if it was controversial or not. But then in his bronze match, I mean, listen, they didn't go by procedure. The referees didn't go by procedure. Kirk Fleet is winning. He gets pushed out with 7 seconds to go. He's still winning because it's 4-4 and there's a caution. The other guy has a caution, so Kirk Fleet's winning on criteria. So there's 7 seconds to go. They go back to the center. They wrestle the 7 seconds. The match is over. The clock is expired. China challenges. They say, we want to challenge.
Wasn't it?
Was it Mongolia?
Yeah.
Mongolia. We want to challenge, but we want to challenge that other thing before the 7 seconds. They say, okay. And they challenge, and they overturn it. You cannot go back. So that was just out of procedure. And Brady Berge got like he was like knocked out, but it was sort of weird because what looked like the collision that would cause a knockout, and then the time he looked like he passed out, he like continued to wrestle for like a second and then passed out. So thoughts and prayers to Brady Berge, but it sounds like he's doing okay, right, Nomad?
Yeah, yeah. Penn State and USA Wrestling were tweeting stuff yesterday about he was taken to the hospital, but he was released, and I don't know. We're probably not gonna really know a whole lot until he gets back to America. But yeah, it was just a weird thing because you couldn't really see it from the camera angle. I think he
hit the knee.
Yeah, I think his head hit the guy's knee because just the way he went out, and again, we couldn't see from the camera angle. That was the only thing that I could kind of surmise was the reason that he fell down there. So yeah, Bo wins. Muhammad McBride gets 5th. Kirkleek gets 5th. Bo wins, and then Kayla's for the girls. Kayla's in the semis, and then Macy Kilty is in the finals.
Macy's in the finals.
I imagine this is the last time we'll see Macy at 68. I think she's going to end up down at 62 for the Olympic year. But otherwise, kind of tough sledding for our men's and women's teams so far in terms of being able to get to medal matches.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a tough tournament.
Okie doke. So that's U23s. Anything else before you want to jump to for questions time?
No, let's jump into questions.
Ooh, maybe Stephen Kyle, give us just the weekend rundown on Flow. Maybe we can stop, pause, discuss the various.
Yeah, I want us to get into the Saturday Sunday stuff because we got opens and duels,
we kind of forgot to do that.
Why don't we just do? So we talked about the AFC duels at the Broadway Pier. Seth Gross is back. Get your first look at number 4, Wisconsin. Fresno State's always going to have a tough squad. It's going to get even better when Hokett's done with his Heisman Trophy season.
Can we get him on the ballot?
Hokett for Heisman, we're trying.
Yeah, we're pushing.
Dude, he has 8 touchdowns, right?
9. 1 receiving I was made aware of.
Wow.
Me and Bracky think he can get to a dozen.
Yep. Then, obviously, Navy and Army always have very competitive teams. So they kick off the college wrestling season. Then that night, Cal State Bakersfield, Minnesota, as we talked about. Mitch McKee, you're going to have a top 20 matchup at 149 with Russell Rolfing, Brayton Lee. And another one at 97 with Dom Ducharme, Hunter Ritter. Then you get your first look at Rutgers on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Second straight year. This actually, I wish it was a Friday. This could be like the new candidate for the Iowa City Duels because this is the second year in a row they've had a quad. Last year, Fresno State was the one D1 team. They had a couple of D2, D3 teams. This year, Long Island makes their debut. But then they wrestled Pitt, Johnstown, and Centenary, which has Ryan Anderson on the team.
Whoa.
Mountain
He
Berry
was at
West.
one point looking at Rutgers.
Yeah.
That was among the schools he was looking at.
Yeah. So
Now,
Code Red.
the guy loves Mountain Dew. Who among us? You know who else loves Mountain Dew? Dan Gable. Now,
Doug Schwab,
Doug Schwab loves Mountain Dew.
Kyle
He also
Bradke.
loves the
Kyle Brackey loves Mountain Dew. Not as much as Coke.
No, but I do like Mountain Dew.
Schwab's transition to like kombucha or something.
Give me a break.
Because I always see Allison tweet about something white label.
That's
a
Mountain Dew.
Is that Mountain Dew? Oh
What?
God! Oh
You
God!
thought
I
it
thought that was.
kombucha?
I thought that was something completely different.
No.
White label Mountain Dew. What is this nonsense?
Mountain Dew
I
white
am
label?
I'm gonna-
completely
I'm
out
gonna
of the
support-
loop here.
I'm actually supporting Nomad on this one.
Why would you just
Mountain
assume
Dew-
white label's kombucha?
Because it does not look like a typical Mountain Dew thing.
Oh my
All right,
God.
that is 100% Mountain Dew.
Now,
Wow. Hand up. I screwed that one up.
hey, I know this is a thing I knew. I feel good about it.
Good job.
Good for you.
How about that? I knew it was Mountain Dew.
White label Mountain Dew? What's the like equivalent of how absurd that sounds? White label Mountain Dew. What's next? Like
It's just
black
got a little-
label chili Frito pie? I mean,
Just Mountain Dew with
You're
a.
trying to class up.
I don't know
the
what you're
most-
talking about. Mountain Dew has flavors: Code Red, Live
Baja
Wire.
Blast.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I know a lot about Mountain Dew. It's
very
I don't
on
even drink
par.
it.
All right, moving
White
on.
label sounds fancy. Mountain Dew's like the least fanciest
They just put milk
Willie,
in it. They
Willie.
just put a little milk in it.
Natural Light is now making hard seltzers.
That's true.
The game is completely changed.
Space said they're good too.
Anything for
Hey,
they had
we're going
one.
one.
They had more than one.
Yeah.
Why would
Space
Space not
Toy.
have Natty Light seltzer?
He was the one that introduced me to, not introduced me like I'd seen him before, but we go to the pool, right? Me, him, and Bader and Bader's family, and we would be drinking those White Claws.
Wow.
No laws.
Anyways, moving on.
Back to action.
Saturday, also 11 a.m. Eastern, Cowboy Open. Air Force, Northern Colorado, Wyoming. The full D1 team sending full squads.
Illyris.
Andrew Illyris. And I think we
Yeah,
might be
baby.
getting some elite athlete program kids from the OTC, possibly.
Yeah, so Tag, Elam. Brace showed me the list. He's got them.
Is Saunders? Is he?
Oh, yeah,
doing-
Saunders, right? All-American Montory Bridges.
Yep. So good stuff there. Then
Elam? What? Rocky Elam?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
and then
He said Zach. He'd be like,
I love-
"Ah."
No, I love. Well, I mean, Zach. We've seen him in college. I mean, I get jazzed up about the high schoolers wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
College level.
Would you? Okay, hypothetically, let's say this is totally fake, but if Tag goes 33 and beats Montory Bridges and wins the whole thing, it's preposterous. Everything about
It's
it.
not gonna listen. It's not gonna. That ain't happening. I
Right,
mean,
just
Did
entertain
I
him.
not,
Just
did I not
entertain
give
him.
enough qualifiers to say that this would not happen?
Yeah.
I said it 9 different times. This wouldn't happen. If it happened, what would you do? Would that impact their high school ranking?
yeah, I mean, it would probably impact their big board ranking,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's what I was
Julian just got beat, and I don't know how to take it because I think Julian's. I mean, look at Julian's track record has been very, very good.
Right.
But he got beat last week 10-0 by some kid I had never heard of. 10-0. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a freestyle
In
folk
folk style?
thing,
Yeah.
in folk style.
Oy.
By a high schooler in Iowa that's unranked. So,
Whoa. It happens.
also on Saturday, Missouri at Virginia Tech is a fun one.
Very
Maryland at Virginia. Edinburgh at Kent State, Navy at Cal Baptist. And then on Sunday, live on FloWrestling, the Clarion Open. I was talking to Brock Height last night, who's working on a little preview, but Carter Starocki will be there.
Ooh.
And then some high schoolers, Ed Scott, Wyatt Henson, Matt Lee will also all be there.
Who is Matt Lee?
awesome.
Tell me more.
Matt
Who do you
Lee
think he is?
is.
What did he say? What did he
I
say?
said,
He
who do
said
you
who?
think he is?
I think he's Nick Lee's brother.
Yes.
So there's another one.
I know Joe.
Okay.
Joe Lee. Also at Clarion, Bloomsburg, obviously Clarion, Cleveland State, Lockhaven, the full D1 teams going. Then the Southeast Open as well. Both those start at 9 a.m. Eastern. Campbell, Chattanooga, Davidson, Gardner-Webb, George Mason, Maryland, Missouri, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, VMI, West Virginia. So that one's going to be really good.
And NC State's not sending anyone.
No, they're going to the Citadel.
Ah,
The battle at the Citadel or something.
we'll just call it that.
Then we also have
Yeah,
Cal State
fucking
Bakersfield versus North Dakota State. So Cal State Bakersfield twice this weekend.
Nice.
Wow. So Penn State and Iowa may go winless this weekend.
They indeed will go winless.
Wow.
So
No opportunities for a
the
transitive
rest of the
property match
country
this year.
putting the top 2 teams on notice. Okay. So great opening weekend. Lots to watch on Flow. So please do that. You've had your time
Cues
to
from
do
Fs.
autumnal
Keys from Fs.
activities.
Cues
Cues
from
from
Fs.
Fs. Cues from Fs.
Not spooky.
Favorite time of the show.
Wow.
Now
The guy said,
now
"Give me
spooky
something
flavor.
spooky." Okay. Next question. Bracket.
Cues from Fs.
All right. Do we want to talk about the thing? We already talked about the thing with the objectively speaking, Iowa should put.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was addressed. AZ wrestling fan. They put their guys first.
Hey, what about my question above the Q's from Fs?
Oh,
What is your question?
I don't want to ask all that.
Well, you don't have to ask all of it.
A lot of that will get us fired.
No, you don't have to ask all of it.
Well, it's kind of sound like you highlighted all of it right now in the doc. So you know what? Why don't you just ask it?
Why?
You go whatever direction you want
All
to
right,
go.
here,
please-
I will
Please
set it
read
up.
it verbatim.
No, I won't read it verbatim.
I will
you
set-
shouldn't either.
I will set it up.
Well, somebody should say.
Here's what happened. Yesterday in the office, me and Bader and Bracky were having a discussion, and I believe Bader tweeted it. Who is the tallest head coach in Division I wrestling, and who is the shortest head coach in Division I wrestling? And so, we're talking probably Branch or Greenlee is maybe the tallest.
Sweet Lou.
Bono, Lou Roselli, or Nickerson, maybe among the smallest. And then Bono, that sneaky fella, tweeted a picture of him and Roselli where Bono was clearly taller. However, I disqualified it because Bono was on the mat
Oh my god.
and Roselli was not.
Oh.
So get out of here, Chris. I see what you're doing there.
He'll stop at nothing.
Yeah,
Height
come
wise.
on.
Bono's
He may
taller-
still be taller.
He's taller than Lou Roselli, though.
Lou's pretty. Coach Roselli's
And
Would
Bono's not
Willie
as tall as-
Saylor be the shortest Division I head coach?
But maybe how big is Nickerson and Escobedo?
Esco's a little rangier.
Yeah, somebody was saying Esco yesterday. I feel like Esco's not that short. He's just always been very thin.
I
He's
don't
been
know.
very
I
lean.
think Esco's super short.
But anyway, so then the question became: is Greenlee the only D1 head coach who is a heavyweight? And do we need
No.
more heavyweight
Maybe.
representation among the D1 coaches?
There's a lot of Greenlee talk in the office yesterday for some reason. Just happened organically, but
I just put that
What
in the doc after we couldn't think of anyone else that wrestled heavyweight that is a D1
What-
coach.
The Navy coach,
Was Joel Sheridan?
Joel
Yeah,
Sheridan.
Joel Sheridan. Was he
Okay.
a heavyweight? But was he a heavyweight in college? Because
Yeah, he looks like
can't.
he's a tall, big guy. I don't know though.
Why aren't there more?
Why aren't there more? Do they not apply?
I think this is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Now I gotta look this up.
Tervel Delagnev will one day be a Division I head coach if he so desires.
That will help.
If he has interest in such things. Many of them are just taking other paths. Let's think of who are some heavyweights that you think should have, I could have seen in a previous life, if Tommy Rollins had.
Sheridan was a
Got it.
190,
Wow, 190.
so it's just Greenlee.
190.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Mike McMullen coached for a while. He would have been good, I
He's
think.
been great.
Yeah.
He would have been a really good coach.
Steve Mocco, if he'd have tried to climb.
Technically, Kyle Snyder.
Technically,
Yeah,
Kyle
he wrestled
Snyder,
heavyweight.
He wrestled
That
more
counts.
heavyweight than 197.
Factually correct. All right, well, we'll do what we can to get these guys in positions of
Carey.
leadership.
Yeah.
What?
Kerry
He's
McCoy.
not a head coach
Yeah.
anymore, though.
But he was.
He was 190.
No, he was a heavyweight.
No, Kerry was definitely a heavyweight. He's just not a head coach anymore.
Yeah.
Man, so a dying breed. Okay.
Greenlee needs to carry the torch.
Unicorns.
All right. Now from Q's from Fs.
All right, Q's from F. Even though you're an F as well, Bracky.
That's true.
A dear F.
An F of the P.
Don't know what that means. Seniors.
Friend of the pod. Come on.
Kyle the Great, not to brag, but his Kyle the Great. We're kind of flexing on Twitter. Seniors have shown they could a final go. So he kind of listed all the best senior not yet to AA guys: Cam Sikora, Tristan Moran, Zach Earl, Weiland, Anthony Valencia. Wait, he's not a senior. Kimball Bastian, Dylan Lighty, Cash Wilkie, and Taylor Lujan.
Kyle,
So,
that's
two-part
Kyle.
question.
He changed his name.
One part, who do you think will place? Who's most likely to place? Two, who do you just want to see get over the hump? For me, it's Brock Zacherl. That's like, I don't know if he's the most likely one.
Sure.
It's him or Lujan for sure. But Zach, the injury stuff, and he's been right there, and I just know him a little bit. He's really nice guy, good guy. Thought he kind of got hosed one year with the world team situation. So, yeah.
So Lujan's definitely the most likely of those based on rankings and all sorts of things. My
What's Zackrell rank?
He's pretty high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually no, Zackrell is 4th over Lujan. So yeah, Zackrell and then Lujan, the top 2 there. My mind goes to the guys who've kind of had to do things for the team, right? Tristan Moran was a couple different weights for Oklahoma State, and then transferred, so like kind of him being in there, and then Wilkie, right? Wilkie having to come down having to be up at 97 rather, come down. The senior, they're pushing for a team title. That would be so. Like
Also, he
those
was
two.
the 35th guy in one year,
Oh,
and
right, he
made
got
the
in.
round of 12.
Yeah, he got in after who got hurt?
Multiple people,
Was
because
that
he
the
wasn't.
West Virginia?
Jake Smith was
Jake Smith
one,
got hurt.
but even with Jake Smith, he wasn't in. There was another one that happened
Who was the other one?
because
that
there were
got hurt?
2 guys
Yeah.
that had to go out for him to get in, and he made the round of 12. He beat Matty Ace. I forget how that happened. That was also the year that Blaze Cobble got mumps between Big 12s and NCAAs. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
Mumps.
that was so weird. Oh, terrible
I
timing.
would love Blaze Cobble would be the one if he somehow got another year. All the people getting all these extra years, there should be a mumps
Mumps
situation. You should be able to get in if you get mumps
Measles-
at any point in the year.
When you do that thing
Or
for
rubella.
measles, mumps, and rubella, it should be like if you get this between conference weekend, you have another year.
Yeah, anything that the MMR shot covers.
Of all
you
of
should be cleared.
those, I've
Rubella.
seen guys get measles. I've seen guys get the mumps. I have never seen anyone get rubella.
What's a rubella?
Not in
you
my
don't even
lifetime.
get that on the Oregon Trail. Zeke never died of rubella on the Oregon Trail even.
A lot of dysentery, not a lot of rubella.
Plenty of dysentery to go around.
Hold on. Is rubella a myth? Because I don't know anybody.
Is it
Nobody's
even
ever gotten
real?
it. I
I
know.
don't think it's a myth.
Is it a deep
think
state
rubella-
conspiracy to
I would
vaccinate
put rubella
us
on the same
against
level
rubella?
as like Bigfoot and aliens. Possibly true, not sure.
Not sure. There's no way to know. Science hasn't been able to figure it out. How could we? Okay, so from MMR shots to Taylor Lujan, thoughts from Stephen Kyle,
None.
who to me is the real Kyle the Great.
Yeah, that's like him doing that. It's just remember when we got past all that Monster energy drink stuff and like doing the Kyle the Great. Then that's what those Kyles did. He's just besmirching the name again.
I feel like he changed his.
he did.
Yeah, he did.
He changed it.
Yes, it did.
It'd been one thing if, like, okay, in 8th grade, you make the handle, and it's like, whatever, you just go with it. But this is a recent evolution for Kyle. So, all right, it's fine. Now, this guy, Cooper Wills, this is to highlight perseverance.
This is Sam Herring level of persistence.
Not taking no for an answer. He's asked the same question 4 straight shows, and he says, I'm not giving up, I won't quit. And it caused him to look within himself and dig deeper and raise the stakes. And he put his question into poem form, and I'm going to read it right now for you. I may be 0 for 4, but sooner or later I'm bound to score. I asked my question for FRL, so please discuss and pray do tell. If Michigan guys continue to win with decision, tech, and or pin, but there was Sam Marino for some reason, might more recruits consider treason? Hashtag FRL questions.
Incredible.
Well done.
Well
Just
done.
a true talent. Now, to answer the question, wow.
He didn't know it, but we were just like a good coach. We were pushing him.
Yep.
He didn't know it, but then all of a sudden at the end of the year, Coach, I understand why you had me do those things in the early part of the season.
It doesn't always make sense in the time.
Right.
Okay.
But then March comes around, you get that win over your rival in the semis. That's what this was.
This is the FRL
We
questions
basically-
trust
yeah.
the process moment.
Yeah.
Right. We basically made him sand Mr. Miyagi's floor until he was ready.
Yeah, now he's ready. Now Daniel LaRusso is going to fight. If his question is, will more people look the international route? The answer is yes. I think they will. If your question is, will good guys with international aspirations go to Michigan? The answer has been yes and will continue to be yes. They're going to get really good wrestlers, and they're going to try to make world teams for America or not America. But as I've said, and kind of my fear is that as more people see, wow, Stefan Micic was 5th in the world, and he has no trials process to go through in San Marino, and they'll say, wow, I don't want to do that thing, right? Why would I can just bypass the Olympic trials and be an Olympian or at least a world team member. Yeah, I do think that is a thing that will happen, and certainly Michigan is a good place to go if you want to get good. It's one of the best programs in the country, year in, year out. Okay, Omega Madness, no question. Bulldogs are still not intimidating. All right, good question. What conference will produce the most AAs outside of the Big Ten? Ask Wrestler's Way. Is it the ACC year? It's got to be Big 12. They have almost all the teams now.
149, the Big 12 is not fun. That's going to be brutal this year.
I think the fact that it's a question between the ACC and the Big 12 shows how great the ACC is.
Yeah.
Right? They have like 6 teams, and Big 12 has, 16? A lot.
No, they have 12. The MAC has.
Well, I like
plethora.
to say 16. It rounds.
I
thought they had like full 16-man brackets.
Nope.
For some stupid reason.
I'm going to say Big 12.
Because it's definitely not Pac-12 SoCon. I don't think this with Cornell kind of out, EIWAs is going to be tough because you're looking at Lehigh, Princeton.
Princeton's not at full strength with Kolodzic, although D'Angelo could AA, so maybe that one.
True. So I'll say Big 12. I would love to. Who was it? We should, if we pull up Willie's by the numbers, we'd probably know the answer for last year. Who was second?
I'm going to set a Google Calendar alert, thanks to Wrestler's Way, though, that if the Big 12 is second, I'm going to retweet that article where we said the Big 12 is on its way back up, and for some ungodly reason, we got roasted for it.
We did?
Yes.
That was
I don't remember.
There are a lot of things that we get backlash for that I could at least wrap my head around. That one I could not.
I don't.
It was just a bunch of Big Ten people saying, "Shut up, this is stupid. No one will ever touch the Big."
Did they know off next topic our article?
Yes.
Like we got
no, that's actually exactly what they did.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, really? The Big Ten's good. Thought provoking, guys. Hey, this is an interesting one from Brock Desert. So Brock has gone back and he has listened to every FRL.
It's crazy.
I don't remember because I don't remember this take. He's on a deep dive. He should say what episode these are from.
No, I like it. This what we did to Cooper Wills, he is doing to us.
Well, I'm not gonna go back and find the one where Willie says cemeteries are. Well, go ahead. Don't do that.
I've done it before.
You could do something so much more helpful.
No, because you can listen to podcasts while you're doing work.
I cannot do that. I respect anyone that can have messages coming in and then go out. It's hard enough for me to do that with music. If I had someone talking to me, it's impossible. So, but here's a question: does Willie at Flow still think cemeteries are a waste of space?
Now, I wonder. The answer is yes, but I wonder if 3 Count No Biscuit asked this question because it's Halloween. He saved that one for Halloween.
It is kind of spooky.
So, cemeteries are absolute waste of space. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, and completely not practical use of land management. I mean, you have dead guys buried from 1850. After one cycle, it's okay, Grandpa died. I'm gonna go see his thing. I'm gonna go visit his grave. When I'm gone, nobody else is going there for the rest of eternity. Somebody's buried there that nobody cares about. It is absolute waste. Everybody should be cremated or something, or get over it. We could have so many nice town parks and stuff like that.
They do tend to take up some really nice real estate. You think of the cemeteries I've been to.
Have you been to the Texas State Cemetery? Because it's in Austin.
No.
Yeah?
Why have you been there?
It's cool.
Okay.
No, it is really
Wait,
cool.
what?
Oh, really? Thank you, Bracky.
No, he's right. It's actually really cool.
What? Okay, can you
What's
elaborate?
so cool about a cemetery?
I don't know.
Was there a roller coaster there? What's cool about it?
Yeah,
you guys think it's so
yeah,
cool? Live music.
food.
Okay, all right.
See the food trucks there, Christian. Great.
This gets into like, well, why don't you like this kind of music?
Is
That
it
was
like
a personal preference thing. I go there, it's interesting.
Y'all can laugh all you want until you check it out.
Yeah,
you should probably just shut your mouth.
There's monuments. You learn about, like, they have a lot of
Is it historical?
information.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
There are, there's Civil War portion.
beautiful.
There's like a Texas politicians. You've got like Barbara Jordan, who's like, that's who the Barbara Jordan
mom.
Terminal at Austin Bergstrom. Like, it's very historical to both Austin and the state of Texas. It's
Christian, you've driven past it a gazillion times.
Oh,
100%,
really?
100%,
Huh?
no question.
Where is it?
It is between. It's between 7th and it's pretty long. It's like 4 city blocks. It's between, I think, 7th and 11, and then the other streets are Como and.
Oh, I have seen this. Okay.
It's right across the street from that Kebabalicious.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go with Kebabalicious again. Now, okay, fine. Yeah, I've been to Arlington National Cemetery. I've done that kind of thing. All right, but waste of space. Willie is not backing off
concur,
from that
though?
take.
I mean, nobody's going to see a funeral.
Man,
site.
there is something
Somebody
about the Arlington National Cemetery that is really.
Well,
It
that's
feels
different.
very important. It feels like
That's-
this matters.
Yeah.
It's a very.
I mean, it's a place where people
sobering-
that really died for our country
Yeah.
are buried.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the
Stands-
people.
It's symbolic.
Yeah.
Well, that's for. I mean, that's. I don't want to directly compare Texas and the Arlington one, but that's how the people who maintain the
Sure.
Texas State Cemetery feel about the people who are historically important to the state of Texas.
Sure.
So for civilians, you think mass grave, cremate?
Cremate them. I mean, nobody's going to see these people. No matter how much you love them, in 50 years, nobody's going to go there. It's the same thing about, like, not the same thing, but I hate when they name the bridge Colonel Jessup Highway. Like, or not maybe like an army guy, not a military guy, but sometimes they just name it after
You
some
hate
dude.
the troops. That's what this comes down to.
Are you? Should Willie be
I'm a sexy
concerned?
troop lover.
Hey Kyle.
So-
Hey Kyle. Does Willie need to worry about getting haunted based on this take?
Yes. He absolutely needs to be concerned about that.
Oh jeez.
What do you want to happen to you after you die? You want to get cremated? You want to get buried? I said I want to be a ghost. That's where I'm at.
That's
So wait, so Willie, so what? So okay, there has to be some sort of way of tracking. Well, you don't even know what I'm going to say.
Listen to him.
All right.
You had literally no idea what I was going to say.
No idea.
There has to be some way of tracking history and honoring history and being aware of the history of whatever, your state, your country, and for, cemeteries are like part of that.
Maybe cemeteries for VIPs or something. I don't know, but like, there does not.
Would you be a VIP?
No. I have a theory about how I want to go.
Oh my. Well, let's go. It's Halloween. We've come this far.
Is it the Tyrion Lannister
I say it all the
one?
time.
Because that's a good one.
I don't know what that is. Oh
I
no.
understand that.
I don't want to be buried. I like when I die. I say this all the time. My family thinks I'm a nutbag. When I die, to throw me in the woods. Just put my carcass in the woods, and that way, I like decompose into the soil. Maybe like some animals. A bird pecked me. Remember that dream you had?
There's a
Maybe
callback.
some like whatever. Right, and then. I'm part of the earth. Don't put me in some box in the thing. Nobody's ever going to go see me. It's stupid.
So Willie does have a point in the sense that, like, funerals are for the living,
Wow.
right? It's no, the dead person's not there. So
I mean, if you wanna like worship or like visit or like symbolically communicate with a passed away loved one. Get a freaking urn, put it on your mantle, and say sup to it sometimes. You don't dedicate large swaths of the town.
Jeez. This is a very, I'm going to say, this is a very me-like take, because I'm very cynical about a lot of things, and
Yeah.
this sounds like something that come out of my mouth.
This is actually pragmatic, though. I mean, it does speak to a, there is only so much land. We only have one Earth, as I'm told. But I do think there is something important about being able to visit the physical location where your loved ones now rest. Okay. We did it.
That was quite a question.
What a journey. What a journey. That was something. One wrestler to gets a year of eligibility for the 2020 season from the past decade. Who would you want to see compete? Doesn't matter if it's a fifth year. Well, for the mumps, measles, rubella clause, I'll say Blaze Cobble. But
Darren Caldwell.
oh baby,
Fully healthy Darren Caldwell.
fully healthy. Darren Caldwell would be great. Think about this though.
That's my favorite what if. Kyle Dake versus Darren Caldwell 149 2011.
11. Yep.
Who won?
Now here's where I'm
Who won the
at.
title the year McDonough was hurt? Who won it?
Jesse. Jesse. and the
Who then
Rippers.
had his own senior issues with injuries.
I would say, all right, here's who I want. So I think we're just giving someone a fifth year of eligibility. It's not like who got hurt. So for me, who in the last decade do I want to see wrestle someone right now that's really good? So who's like a transcendent person? So is it Ed Ruth versus Zahid?
Ooh,
That's
spicy.
Is it Robles versus Spencer Lee? Or
That's really spicy.
that is a tilt-a-whirl. That's a
And there's
Filipino
revenge
tilt-a-whirl
aspect
contest.
to it for the Hawkeyes.
True. Does Spencer choose top? They both choose top. 2 auto tops. So that maybe seeing Robles. I feel like Robles versus anyone is always exciting. Anyone at 33 to go against Gross?
Ethan Lazak.
I'm always for a fifth year of Ethan Lezak. I think I feel like that's the show selection in terms of consensus. So that's mine. You guys got any that jump out?
Not off the top of my head. Although I like the Ruth one. I like Ruth versus anybody.
Yeah,
Ruth was so fun to watch.
he was super duper good.
Remember when he wasn't about to get a major in the NCAA finals? That was like,
Yeah.
oh, there's like a minute left. All right.
And then he gave the great post match interview where he said like, I was like, I don't know, I can't do math that fast. And they're like cut him because like really it was just like a ho hum match, and then it got to be like 5-2 or 7-2. He got to be like up by like 4 or 5 points with riding time. They're like, go, and then he just like got 2 quick takedowns. That was one of the most unreal flexes of all time. Just be like,
Yeah.
just like him casually like late in the NCAA finals deciding to pick up the major when he was just gonna win. That was and Nomad has it pulled up here. So
Was it Hamlin?
it was against Hamlin, yeah.
Okay. So it was 5-2 with 40 seconds left in the match.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'll just pick this up major up. Yeah, and it gets to be 7-2.
And you're like,
they're
what?
go. He gets the takedowns late. So while he's giving us the breakdown,
Yeah, 3-point lead with 40 seconds left.
it's something else.
What sort of... God, Ruth was a monster.
He's so good. Okay, will we ever see a 10 All-American team again? Asked Brock Desert.
Hard yes.
Emphatic yes from him.
Hard yes.
I thought the same thing. There've been it's been very reasonable the last couple of years. There've been a team where like this team, like Oklahoma
Ohio
State.
2018.
Yeah, how many did they have? They had
8?
8?
And,
I think.
you know, Keyshawn was
Wait.
highly seeded, and
Oh, I thought you said Oklahoma State.
Ohio State. Oh, yeah, Oklahoma State had an 8 AA
a couple
team.
years ago.
Yep.
They had 8, and who didn't place? Like Chandler Rogers, who is an All-American, and
Yeah, we've had teams very recently get 8 with guys that are good, not place.
the year they won, the year that Oklahoma State won like every big. They put everyone in the Big 12 finals, I think.
Yeah.
They went something ridiculous. Remember, I'm going to throw a number out here that's not accurate, but it was like something like 60-1 at the Big 12 tournament or something.
That's like what happened.
Yeah.
Like Seth beat Cade Brock.
So it was 2017.
Yep.
Chandler Rogers did place. Colica was the one that didn't.
So on All
And
American,
he was a 2 seed, right?
Seed.
Yeah, remember he got concussed
Yeah.
in the Big 12 finals and then was just very clearly not the same person.
Yeah.
And then Austin Schaefer, who was like the 5 seed, didn't place.
So they were right there for 10.
It's also because the thing about 10 AAs, and I know I'm going to get roasted for this, not to disparage anyone who's placed like 7th or 8th, but when you think of 10 AAs, we're not saying like 10 in the finals, right? You're talking about navigating some brackets. Look, guys get hurt. We just brought up a team that was right, multiple teams are right there to have it. So, like, there are paths for it to happen.
Yeah.
And still not win, too. You could have a 10 AA team not win, which is absolutely
I don't
absurd.
think Oklahoma, if Schaefer and Colica placed 5th, I don't know if they would have beat Penn State that year.
Yeah, sure. Possibly. But, yeah, that's the thing. Like, there are paths to 7th and 8th where...
Yeah, I mean, going into the last day, this article's from going into the last day, Penn State had 121 points, Ohio State had 89.5, and Oklahoma State had 86 with 8 guaranteed All-Americans.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have been ahead.
They'd have had 10, and they would not have beat Penn State. It's crazy. It's kind of... I feel like All-Americans are undervalued a little bit, but
So do I.
Maybe another topic for another day. Especially like 5th and 6th. It's like, geez.
Another one.
I know, you go through and you do the math, and you're like, I don't know. Even we did all the top 20 teams, and we're counting them down. It was like, oh, they got, this guy could bump. If this guy takes 5th, then they might be able to move their like 5th is like, I don't know, 9 points.
9 points.
Yeah.
Another thing that's always interesting is 7th place loses fewer matches than 6th place. So there are very frequently guys who finish 7th who lose to like 1 and 3, and 6th placers that lose to like early round to a guy who doesn't place, or you go semi slide. So you'll very often have like 7th placers that, if you analyze their tournament, had a more impressive tournament than maybe a guy who got 6th.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Kyle, what's the... I found out after the show you were just dunking on people on Facebook the whole time. You're just dunking on takes. Have you been dunking again, or what's
today?
Up? Yeah, today. Anything going on? What's our
No,
friends on
not
Facebook
really.
saying? Okay.
It really has been pretty slow.
Okay.
No, I didn't need to dunk today. I was dunking on people yesterday.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service in the dunk department. Before we go, anything else? Anything to discuss?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug Kyle Brackey here. So I believe what CP is mentioning is the people with the takes about the image and likeness stuff, which we went over, that still has a lot of room to figure out what's going to happen. But Brackey and Colby Paxton did a bootleg on October 3rd, which you can find on Spotify and iTunes and other things. Nolan Henderson plus the Fair Pay-to-Play Act, and they made a lot of good points in there that are more so centered around football, but a lot of good points nonetheless.
I feel like...
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I re-listened to it last night because Brackey said, we had a really good discussion about this, and he was correct.
You listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm impressed. It's a lot of, Spade's podcasts, they're so long. There's so much content. I've got, now, who's number one grappling and fistful. I can't keep up with all the flow content I should be consuming. I don't know how some of you guys do it.
I'm 100% certain that I consume less content on our own site than before I worked here, because I'm
that definitely
simultaneously making content.
That definitely happens.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
People be like, "Oh man, this article was really good," and
people
I'll be like, "I bet it was. Spay wrote it. He's an awesome writer, but I gotta say, I didn't get a chance to read it yet."
Yeah. People will bring up articles and stuff to me. I was like, I haven't read that.
Yeah, it's sort of embarrassing.
We run 10 banners a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
will
would
say
literally
something
be.
and
It would
they'll-
have to be my entire job just to watch FloWrestling content.
Or a great misnomer of, "Man, you guys get to watch wrestling all the time." Well, Sometimes at tournaments we don't get to, like, oh, how about that quarterfinal? That was on mat 4. I was calling mat 1 for 3.5 hours, so I did not get a chance to see it.
No complaints here.
No, not complaining. It's just funny, this stuff that people ask us about. It's like, yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. So I'm doing other stuff.
Sometimes Nomad has to hit deadline.
I didn't even get my quote.
Get his quote. Sometimes a quoteless deadline not hit is pointless. All right, we good to go? Anything before we depart from our friends for a 4-day hiatus?
Wrestling's
Styles
here.
back
Wrestling's
for those.
here.
Wrestling's here. Next Tuesday, we will actually talk about Division I wrestling results where teams wrestled other teams.
Yeah.
That were not their team.
Hey,
There are some wrestle
Fantasy
offs
draft.
this weekend.
Fantasy draft Saturday. I got to get my sheets together. Title defense. I need to get the draft order determined.
Willie's going to go to Sheets to get some.
Yeah, Willie gets to go to Sheets.
there's not much keto friendly at Sheets, I would imagine.
Tighten up, Sheets. Thank you guys so much.
AFC Championship duels at Iowa City, live on Flow tomorrow.
Boom. Seth Gross, live on Flow. Number 4, Wisconsin. Fresno. Army, the whole crew.
Army Navy.
Army Navy, Southeast Open, Clarion Open, Wyoming Cowboy Open.
If you don't watch,
CSUB
don't
Minnesota,
support the
CSUB
troops.
North Dakota State.
Thanks so much, guys. Happy weekend. Happy wrestling season. See you Tuesday. Goodbye. What a dab.